Hi, my name is Matt Scuffleman. I'm the MBU Seed Manager for Helena Agri-Enterprises, and today we're going to talk a little bit about soybean germplasm and soybean seeding populations. When we think back 40 years ago, who was the leading soybean germplasm provider? Well, it was a university system. They accounted for about 70% of the germplasm. By 1998, we're down to 30%, and today it's closer to 1% or less. The university germplasm was openly shared, both within the public and the private sector, 40 years ago. And many of the varieties that we still plant today can be traced back to those breeding programs. Once herbicide traits were brought in and patent protection became more and more common, the private sector jumped in. When we look back at USDA yields from 1924 to 1995, it was pretty small. Not a lot of gain year over year. 1996 to 2012, about a third of a bushel per acre per year. And then from 2013 through today, we're seeing about 1.4 bushel gain per year. And when we look back at 1996 through today, soybeans are actually outpacing corn in year over year growth. Whether it was 1924, 1996, or 2020, soybean breeders select for yield. Number one thing that they select for. So there's been a lot of overall improvements, right? Weed control, seed treatments, planting date, fungicide, pesticide use, and planting technology as well. And we have more intense breeding and evaluation. Many of the companies today have 10x the breeding programs and stations that they did 30 years ago. We've gone from one breeding cycle to four breeding cycles per year. We've gone from thousands of trials to millions of breeding trials per year. And we have genotyping and phenotyping out there, and that's accelerated the breeding process as well. So we can start off with a million lines today, and we can eliminate up to 90% of them through genotyping. And then we can phenotype the remaining 10% out in the field. The first soybean variety was fully genotyped in that 2007 2008 timeframe. It was a collaborative joint venture between the public sector and the private sector. So much more cost effective equals more data equals we're much better at predicting what soybeans are going to yield and which ones are not. So genotyping has really been a breeding revolution, and we have many more varieties faster. And then we come to, we can select for white mold, sudden death, frog eye. We can select through all those things through the marker system as well. When we get to soybean plant populations, we think back to the university system. What were they known for? Big, tall, rangy plants that like to what? Lodge. Today we have much shorter plants. They have shorter nodes. They're putting more pods per node. And, and we have better light interception. We have really big leaves on the bottom and smaller leaves as we get towards the top. So the sunlight can get down through the canopy onto the leaves. So that's really helped us in yield as well. As far as planting date, the earlier we plant gives the plant more time to develop. As more time to develop, it can set more nodes, can set more pods. So we found that we can decrease the population. The later we plant, you have less time to develop, set nodes and pods. We probably need to increase the planting population. As far as soils, the higher productivity soils, we can lower the population. Lower productivity soils, we probably need to raise the population. Same thing with planting date. The better soils, plants are going to grow faster, more nodes and pods. The tougher soils, plants probably aren't going to grow as fast, so we need more out there so we get more nodes, more pods. Biggest thing is don't be afraid to experiment. You need to experiment on your own farm in your own environment. So that concludes a short video today. Feel free to reach out to your Helena Agri-Enterprise location or sales rep for more information on soybeans. Thanks.